Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Jayam Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudire Nashtaprayeshu Vadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttam Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Nashtike. So continuing with the discussion on Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Antya Lila, chapter 10, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu accepts prasadam from his devotees, text 79. So Mahaprabhu and all the devotees were doing Beda Kirtan around Jagannath temple, and Mahaprabhu was in his ecstasy. So Nityanand Prabhu stopped everybody from chanting. He just, only his group and Sarup Damodar's group was chanting, and they started to chant very softly. So Mahaprabhu would not dance as much. कोलाहल नाही प्रभुर किछु भाय हाइला तबे नित्यानंद सबार श्रम जानाइला. When there was no longer a tumultuous sound, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu returned to external consciousness. Then Nityananda Prabhu informed him of the fatigue of the chanters and dancers. Bhakta Shrama Jani Kaila Kirtan Samapan Sabalaya Asi Kaila Samudre Snapan. Understanding the fatigue of the devotees, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu stopped the congregation of chanting. Then he bathed in the sea, accompanied by them all. Sabalaya Prabhu Kaila Prashada Bhojan Sabare Vidaya Dila Karite Shayan. Then Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took prasadam with all of them and then asked them to return to their dwellings and take rest. Gambhirara dware kare na apane shayana Govinda asiya kare padasamvahan. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu lay down at the door of the Gambhira and Govind came there to massage his legs. Sarva kalache ei sudrida niyama Prabhu yadi prasad paya kare na shayan. Govinda asiya kare padasamvahan Tabe jai Prabhu shesha kare na bhojan. It was a steady, long-standing rule that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would lie down to rest after lunch and Govinda would come to massage his legs. Then Govinda would honor the remnants of food left by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Sab dwara jodi Prabhu kari achena shayana bhitare jaite nare Govind kare nivedan. This time, when the Lord lay down, he occupied the entire doorway. So he was so tired, or he was playing the pastime of being tired. So he just slept at the doorway. Govinda could not enter the room, and therefore he made the following request. So towards the inner side of the room, inner side of the doorway, he just lied down. And Govind couldn't enter because Lord was lying down there. And he wanted to massage his lotus feet, legs, from inside. एक पाश हाव मोर देह भीतरे जाइते प्रभु कहे शक्ति nahi anga chalaite. Govinda said, kindly turn on one side, let me pass to enter the room. However, the Lord replied, I don't have the strength to move my body. बार बार गोविंद कहे एक दिक हाइते प्रभु कहे अंग आमी नारी चलाइते. Govinda made his request again and again, but the Lord replied, I cannot move my body. Govinda kahe karite chahi pada samvahan Prabhu kahe kar va na kar jai lai tomara man. Govinda repeatedly requested, I want to massage your legs. But the Lord said, do it or don't do it. It depends upon your mind. Tave Govinda bahirvas taru pare diya Bhitar ghare kela Mahaprabhure langhiya. Then Govinda spread the Lord's wrapper over his body, and in this way entered the room by crossing over the Lord. See, crossing over the Lord, it's a big offense. But Govind wanted to serve the Lord. That's why he did it. And what he did? he spread the Lord's wrapper over Lord's body, so his any dust of his feet won't touch the Lord. पाद संवहन कैला कति पृष्ठ चापिल मधुर मर्दने प्रभुर परिश्रम गेल. Govinda massaged the Lord's legs as usual. He pressed the Lord's waist and back very softly, and thus all the Lord's fatigue went away. Sukhe nidra haila prabhur Govinda chape anga dand dui bai prabhur haila nidra bhanga. As Govinda stroked his body, the Lord slept very nicely for about 45 minutes. And then his sleep broke. गोविंद देखिया प्रभु भले क्रुद्ध हया आजी कहने आतक्षण आचिस वसीया. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saw Govinda sitting by his side, he was somewhat angry. Why have you been sitting here for so long today? The Lord asked. मोर निद्रा हैले कहने ना गेला प्रसाद खाई थे गोविंद कहे द्वारे शुइला याइते ना ही पाए थे. Why didn't you go to take your meal after I fell asleep? The Lord asked. Govinda replied, you were lying down, blocking the door, and there was no way to go. Prabhu कहे भीतरे तवे आइला के माने ताइचे केने प्रसाद लाइते ना कैला गमान. The Lord asked, how did you enter the room? Why didn't you go out to take your lunch in the same way? गोविंद कहे मने आमार सेवा से नियम अपराध हो कीपा नरके गमान. Govind mentally replied, my duty is to serve you, even if I have to commit offenses or go to hell. सेवा लागी कोटि अपराध नहीं गानी स्वनिमित्त अपराधा भासे भय मानी. I would not mind committing hundreds and thousands of offenses for the service of the Lord, but I greatly fear committing even a glimpse of an offense for my own self. So, if he had crossed over the Lord's body to go get his lunch, prasad, of course, there was no offense, but in his mind, he was thinking, for my own sense gratification, for my own self, I won't have committed that offense. So I didn't go. Ete sab mane kari Govind rahina, Prabhu ye puchila tara uttar na dina. Thinking in this way, Govinda kept silent. He did not reply to the Lord's inquiry. प्रत्यह प्रभुर निद्राय यान प्रसाद लाइते सिद्ध विसेर श्रम देखी लागिला चापीते. It was Govinda's practice to go take lunch when the Lord was asleep. On that day, however, seeing the Lord's weariness, Govinda continued massaging his body. याइते है पथ नहीं याइवे के मने महापराध है प्रभुर लंघन. There was no way to go. How could he leave? When he thought of crossing over the Lord's body, he considered it a great offense. यही सब है भक्ति शास्त्र सूक्ष्म मर्म चैतन्य कृपाए जाने यही सब धर्म. These are some of the finer points of etiquette and devotional service. Only one who has received the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu can understand these principles. So karmis, fruity workers cannot understand the finer conclusions of devotional service because they accept only its ritualistic value, but do not understand how devotional service satisfies the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The karmis view the formalities as a means of advancing in religion, economic development, sensual satisfaction, and liberation. Although these are only material results of following religious principles, the karmis consider them everything. Such ritualistic activities are called karma. Karmis who adopt devotional service very loosely and who therefore remain on the platform of material activities are called prakrit sahajiyas. They cannot understand how pure devotional service is rendered in parental and conjugal love. For this can be understood only by the special mercy bestowed by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu upon pure devotees. That's the only way to understand. भक्त गुण प्रकाशित प्रभु बड़ रंगी यही सब प्रकाशित कहलाएत भंगी. The Lord is very interested in manifesting the exalted qualities of his devotees. And that is why he engineered this incident. So he wants to glorify everybody, even Govinda. He was just a servant from one point of view, but Mahaprabhu wanted to glorify. Sankshepe kahilo hai pari munda nritya adyapiha gaye yaha chaitanera vritya. Thus I have briefly described Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's dancing in the hall of the Jagannath temple. The servants of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu sing about this dancing even now. Ei mata Mahaprabhu laya nija gana gundicha griher kaila kshalan marjan. Accompanied by his personal associates, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu washed and swept the Gundicha temple, cleansing it as usual. Purvata Kaila Prabhu Kirtan Anartha Purvata Totai Kaila Vanya Bhojana. The Lord danced and chanted and then enjoyed a picnic in the garden as he had done before. Purvata Ratha Age Karila Nartana Hera Panchami Yatra Kaila Darshan. As previously, he danced in front of the Jagannath car and observed the festival of Hera Panchami. Chari Mas Varshaye Rahila Sab Bhaktagan Janmashtami Adi Yatra Kaila Darshan. All the devotees from Bengal stayed in Jagannath Puri for the 4 months of the rainy season and observed many other ceremonies, such as the anniversary of Lord Krishna's birth. Pure Yadi Gauda Haite Bhakta Gana Aila Prabhu re kichu khayu aite sabaricha haila. Formerly, when all the devotees had arrived from Bengal, they desired to give Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu something to eat. Keha kon prashadani deya govinda thai, iha yena avashya bhakshan karena gosai. Each devotee would bring a certain type of prasad. He would entrust it to Govinda and request him, please arrange that the Lord will surely eat this prasadam. Keha peda, keha nadu, keha pitha paya, bahu mulya uttam prasad, brakarayaranam. Some brought peda, a coconut preparation, some brought sweet balls, and some brought cakes and sweet rice. The prasadam was of different varieties, all very costly. Amukya diyachi govind kare nivedana, dhari raka bali prabhu na kare na bhakshan. Govinda would present the prasadam and say to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, this has been given by such and such devotee. The Lord, however, would not actually eat it. He would simply say, keep it in the storage. Dharite dharite gharer bharila ek kon, shat janer bhaksha yat haila sanchayan. Govinda kept accumulating the food and soon it filled a corner of the room. There was quite enough to feed at least 100 people. Govindera sabe puche kari ayatan amandatta prasad prabhure ki karila bhakshan. All the devotees asked Govinda with great eagerness, have you given Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu the prasadam brought by me? Kaha kichu kahi Govind kare vanchana aradin prabhure kahe nirveda vachan. When the devotees questioned Govinda, he had to tell them lies. Therefore, one day he spoke to the Lord in disappointment. Acharyadi Mahashay, Kari Ajatan, Tomare Kaya Aite Vastu, Denamoristan. Many respectable devotees, headed by Advaita Acharya, made a great endeavor to entrust me with varieties of food for you. Tumi se na khao tara puche bara bara, kat vanchan karimu ke mane amara nistara. You do not eat it, but they ask me again and again, how shall I go on cheating them? How shall I be freed from this responsibility? So Govinda was in a dilemma, what to do? Prabhu kahe adi vasya dukh kane mane, keba de diyachi taha ana ekha. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu replied, why are you so foolishly unhappy? Bring here to me whatever they have given you. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur explains that the word Adi Vasya refers to one who has been living with another for a very long time. Govinda was addressed as Adi Vasya because he had been living with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu for a very long time, whereas other devotees who were mostly new would come and go. In effect, the Lord told Govinda, since you have been living with me for a long time, you should not be foolishly disappointed in this situation. Bring all the food to me and you will see that I can eat it. Ete bali Mahaprabhu Vasila Bhojan, Nama Dhari Dhari Govinda Kare Nivedan. Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu sat down to eat. Then Govinda offered him the preparations, one after another, and as he did so, he spoke the name of the person who had given each one. And just previously it was said, so much of prasadam was there that it could fill 100 people. Acharya ei peda paya sarapa pupi ei amrit gutika manda karpura kupi. These preparations, peda, sweet rice, cakes made with cream, and also amrit gutika, manda, and a part of camphor have been given by Advaita Acharya. Shrivas Panditerai Aneka Prakara Pita Paya Amrita Manda Padmachiniyara. Next, there are varieties of food, cakes, cream, Amrit Manda, and Padmachini given by Shrivas Pandit. Acharya Ratnerai Sabu Upahara, Acharya Nidhi Aneka Prakara. All these are gifts of Acharya Ratna, and these varieties of gifts are from Acharya Nidhi. Vasudeva Datterai Murari Guptera Aran. Buddhimanta khane rahi vividha prakara. And all these varieties of food have been given by Vasudeva Datta, Murari Gupta, and Buddhimanta Khan. Shriman Sena Shriman Pandit Acharya Nandana Tasabhara Datta Ei Karaha Bhojana. These are gifts given by Shriman Sen, Shriman Pandit, and Nandan Acharya. Please eat them all. कुलीन ग्रामे रही आगे देखा जाता खंडवासी लोके रही देखा ताता. Here are the preparations made by the inhabitants of Kulin Gram, and these have been made by the inhabitants of Khanda. Aicha sabara namalaya Prabhu ragadhar santushta haya Prabhu sab bhojan kare. In this way, Govinda gave everyone's name as he put the food before the Lord. Being very satisfied, the Lord began to eat it all. यद्यपि मासकेर व्यासी मुकुट नारिकेल अमृत गुटिकादि पायादि सका तथापि नूतन प्राय सब द्रव्य स्वाद वासी विश्वाद नाहे सही प्रभु प्रसाद. The hard sweets made of coconut, mukut, narikela, the sweet balls, the many kinds of sweet drinks, and all other preparations were at least a month old. But although they were very old, they had not become tasteless or stale. Indeed, they had all stayed fresh. That is the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. See, so many pastimes are going on. Now, all the food, even the months old, they were fresh. Shata Janer Bhaksha Prabhu, Dande ke khai, Arakichu Ache Bali, Govinde Puche. Within a very short time, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ate enough for 100 people. Then he asked Govinda, is there anything more left? गोविंद बले राघवेर झाली मात्र आचे प्रभु कहे आजी रहो ताहा देखी मुबाचे. Govinda replied, no, they are only the bags of Raghav. The Lord said, let them remain today, I shall see them later. आर दिन प्रभु यदि निभृत भोजन कहिला राघवेर झाली खोली सकल देखीला. The next day, while taking his lunch in a secluded place, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu opened the bags of Raghav and inspected their contents one after another. Sab dravyer kichu kichu upayoga kaila swadu sugandhi dekhi bahu prashansila. He tasted a little of everything they contained and praised it all for its flavor and aroma. Vatsarek tare ar rakila dhariya bhojan kale swarup pariveshe khasaya. All the varieties of the remaining prashadam were kept to eat throughout the year. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ate his lunch, Swarup Damodar Goswami would serve it little by little. Kabhu ratri kale kichu kare na upayoga, bhakte rashardhara dravya avashya kare na upavoga. Sometimes Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would take some of it at night. The Lord certainly enjoys preparations made with faith and love by his devotees. So this was the ingredient that Mahaprabhu was tasting, faith and love of his devotees. Krishna is very pleased with his devotees and their offerings. Therefore in Bhagavad Gita, Lord says, Patram Pushpam Phalam Toya. If one offers me with love and devotion a leaf, a flower, a fruit, or water, I will accept it. Herein also we find that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu accepted all this food because it had been offered by his devotees. Sometimes he would eat it during lunch and sometimes at night, but he would always think that since his devotees had offered it with great love and affection, he must eat it. Ei mat Mahaprabhu Bhakta Gana Sange, Chaturmasa Gonaila Krishna Katha Range. Thus Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu spent the entire period of Chaturmasya, the 4 months of the rainy season, in the happiness and of discussing topics of Krishna with his devotees. Madhya Madhya Acharyadi Kare Nirmantrana Ghare Bhata Randhe Ar Vividha Vyanjana. From time to time, Advaita Acharya and others would invite Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu for home-cooked rice and varieties of vegetables. Mari Chera Jhala Ara, Madhuramla Ara, Ada Lavan Limbu Dugdha Dadhi Khanda Sara, Shakadui Chari Ara, Sukutara Jhola, Nimba Vartaki Ara, Bhrishta Patola. They offered pungent preparations made with black pepper, sweet and sour preparations, ginger, salty preparations, limes, milk, yogurt, sugar candy, 2 or 4 kinds of spinach, soup made with bitter melon, eggplant mixed with nimba leaves, and fried patola. Bhrishta ful badiyar mudga dali soupa, vivid vyanjana randhe prabhu ruchi anurupa. They also offered fool badi, liquid moong dal, and many vegetables, all cooked according to the Lord's taste. Jagannathera prasadane karite mishrita, kaha eka yayin kaha ganera sahita. They would mix these preparations with the remnants of food from Lord Jagannath. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu accepted the invitations, he went sometimes alone and sometimes with his associates. Acharya Ratna, Acharya Nidhi, Nandan Raghava, Shrivas Adi Yat Bhakta Vipra Sabha. Devotees like Acharya Ratna, Acharya Nidhi, Nandan Acharya, Raghav Pandit, and Shrivas were all of the Brahmin caste. Ei Mata Nimantrana, Karen Yatnakari, Vasudev Gadadhar Das, Gupta Murari, Kulin Grami Khandavasi, Ara Yata Jana, Jagannathera Prasadani, Karen Nimantrana. They would extend invitations to the Lord. Vasudev Datta, Gadadhar Das, Murari Gupta, the inhabitants of Kulin Gram and Khanda, and many other devotees who were not Brahmins by caste, would purchase food offered to Lord Jagannath and then extend invitations to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. The inhabitants of Kulin Gram, such as Satyaraj Khan and Ramanand Vasu, were not Brahmins by caste, nor were the inhabitants of Khanda, such as Mukundas, Narhari Das, and Raghunandan. Therefore, they would purchase prasadam from the market where the remnants of Lord Jagannath's food was sold and then extend invitations to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Whereas Acharya Ratna, Acharya Nidhi, and others who were Brahmins by caste would cook at home when they invited the Lord. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu observed the etiquette then current in society by accepting only prasadam cooked by members of the Brahmin caste, but on the principle he accepted invitations from his devotees regardless of whether they were Brahmins by caste or not. Why? Because a sannyasi, because he had taken sannyas, and sannyasis can only eat at house where Brahmins are cooked. But he could always accept prasadam of Lord Jagannath, so there was not a problem there. Anyway, we'll stop here. See anybody has any questions or comments? Okay, you all have a safe and wonderful day. Hare Krishna. Jai Shri Radha.
Hare Krishna. Thank